It's about 1,000,000 degrees over here. I don't know what it's like where you live, but we're dying. So I thought, what better way to not film an unboxing video than to do the mid-year book freakout tag. I know I'm really not good at these tag videos, but I thought this would be a fun one. I don't read a lot of books during the year. I tend to read between 50 and 55 books a year. It's just all I can handle. I wish I could join the club of like reading 100 or more books, but just not where I'm at in my life. So I've only read 16. I'm a little behind. But I have a feeling I'm gonna catch up because I'm doing that readathon thing. Vlogathon. Bookathon. That's it. See? Just when you thought I couldn't get any more awkward, I did. So, number one, and I'm going to try to do this fast, but you know I talk too much. Best book so far in 2017. Because, I mean, I annotated it and everything. By far, this is Cassie's just a superior sequel and a great story. And again, it's about family, so you know I love that. 5 stars. Don't mind me as I step out of camera to turn on some more lights. Best sequel you've read so far in 2017. Had to think a long and hard about this. Lord of Shadows could probably make every category here. So I thought, you know what? I have one. Allie Carter's See How They Run. I love this story. I love the story of Grace and her friends and the whole concept of Embassy Row. Grace's story wraps up beautifully with this novel. And you know what? If you haven't picked up Allie Carter's, any of her series, The Gallagher Girls, High Society, or Embassy Row, do so now. They are such great reads. You'll meet wonderful characters and have these heart-thumping plots. Do it. Best sequel so far, 2017. Okay. The next one is a new release you haven't read yet, but you want to, and the list could go on forever with this. But there's a book that I just discovered, and I literally put on my TBR last night. It's called Seeking Mansfield by Kate Watson, and it's a Mansfield Park retelling. You guys, Mansfield Park is one of Jane Austen's like lesser known novels, certainly not as well known as Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility and Emma, but it contains 2 of my favorite siblings. Do you know who they are? Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this. Most anticipated release for the second half of 2017. I'm gonna go with one of my favorite authors who is stepping out of her genre. Stephanie Perkins, I'm looking at you. There's Someone Inside Your House is one of my most anticipated stories or novels this year. And I just hope she doesn't scare me too much because, you know, I'm very, very faint-hearted when it comes to horror stories. So I'm hoping it's a little more like Anna. Okay, biggest disappointment. Yeah. It's hard. I've read a lot of what I would call meh books. They're not like super disappointing, but they're just not what I thought they would be. And I'm going to put up the cover here because I actually already donated it to our high school library. Blood Rose Rebellion by Rosalind Eves. It had Hungarian mythology, which is brand new to me, and it just seemed really cool. I loved that part. It had magic, but somewhere in there the plot just dragged and was a little predictable. So yeah, the cover, you guys, look at how gorgeous it is. And the story, meh, not like super disappointing, but just meh. The biggest surprise so far, My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella. Why is this a big surprise? She's one of my favorite you know what, she is my favorite chick lit author, and this is her adult story. I haven't read, the last book I read was Finding Audrey, her YA story, and it's been a while since I read Sophie's adult stories. So I wasn't quite sure, like, is it going to be different than the Shopaholic character, or that there's one story that's about the Roaring Twenties that I love too. And it was amazing. Again, a story about a girl who's trying to make it in the big city, who changes herself to fit in. She changes herself from kind of this suburban kind of farm girl and her wacky dad who tries all these new things, including glamping, which, surprise, takes off. It is madcap, it is funny, it contains a delicious, very innocent romance. It's just what I needed. My heart needs more of these stories right now. So Sophie, please keep writing them. Favorite new author. So this can be a debut author or an author that's new to me. This author surprised me with her story this year. I really loved it and I look forward to way more from her. I've read her Firebird trilogy and I really enjoyed it, but this, Defy the Stars by Claudia Gray, just kind of blew me out of the water. You guys know I love an artificial intelligence character. They're my weak point in reading sci-fi stories when they're really well written, and Claudia has one in here that I just fell in love with. So if you haven't read it, and if you love sci-fi stories that are more stories and less, you know, battle droids and how they're made, pick this up, won't you? And from now on, yeah, Claudia Gray is an auto must-buy for me. Okay. This one's pretty silly because I'm a mom, but you know, moms have fictional crushes, and newest fictional crush for me is Kit from Lord of Shadows. You guys, he reminds me of a younger Jace. He is snarky and funny, and most of all, he's kind. He is so kind towards his new friends. I really look forward to more of his story, and I kept turning pages hoping to find parts that he was in. So, okay, my kids will tell you, sometimes I cry at the drop of a hat, but books, it takes a lot to make me cry. And sometimes I steel my heart for it, like I did when I read The Fault in Our Stars, because I knew it was going to be sad, and I just didn't want to be this bawling mess. And no, I did not figure out the little twist in there, but I still didn't cry because I knew it was going to be sad. So it's hard for me to find stories that truly make me cry. But the one that kind of made me tear this year is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I love this story. I've said it on this channel before. I'm an immigrant. The story is about two immigrants and one day in New York when they meet. It is fabulous and it wraps up amazingly. So, might have made me cry in that amazingly. Books that made me happy. These are books that I've read this year. So they're not maybe published in this year necessarily, but I finally read this Sophie Kinsella book, Do Sense a Theme. I've Got Your Number, and it was so funny, and it was so sweet, and it was so right. Again, madcap, funny, hysterical at times. That kind of heroine that is so like harried and frantic and just smart, but doesn't always get it right the first time. Love this story. If you haven't read it, please do. It's about a girl who loses an engagement ring and her cell phone, picks up another cell phone, which turns out to be tied to this businessman who helps her out of many a funny situation. Rom-com, kids. Rom-com. This should be a movie. I would so watch the heck out of this. Favorite book to film adaptation. Now, my darling Kat, and I'll post her video link down below. She's so funny. I watched her book Freakout Tag, and she just looked and went, Shadowhunters? Yeah, no, we hate Shadowhunters. She faithfully watches it with me, bless her heart, while I write reviews for Mundie Moms on every episode. I'll link those down below too. I try to be funny. Really, there's nothing funny about that show. It is a horrible adaptation. Everything, I think was a pretty decent adaptation, but I didn't read the book, so I can't judge. I'm gonna go with an adaptation that hasn't come out yet, but my goodness, the cast, you guys, it is mind-numbingly good, and that's the book Wonder. Page Turners is doing a read-along, along with Lionsgate, who is producing the movie. Okay, my favorite video this year is series I Won't Finish. I will link it up here, because I really enjoyed making it, and I think the feedback that I got was that you guys wanted more of stuff like that, so you want me to talk about negative stuff all the time? I will try to post more videos like that. The Most Beautiful Book. Kat has it upstairs in her room. Truth be known, it was Katie sent me this beautiful, beautiful birthday present, and it's Lord of Shadows, the UK special edition that's cloth bound, has the runes on the front. I'm gonna post it right here. It is just gorgeous. Also gorgeous was Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Unbelievable, the special edition cover. I'll post it up here. That is in Bella's room. See, the girls have all the good books. Okay, and the last one is a book that I need to read by the end of the year. I cannot tell you how many times I have picked this book up and then something else has distracted me, or I had a blog post I had to do or whatever. But I have got to read The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas by the end of this year. I've heard nothing but amazing things about it, and it's such a valid story for our times right now. So we'll get to it ASAP, I swear. Okay, that's the end of the book Freakout Tag, mid-year book Freakout Tag. Did I get it right? I'm gonna tag tag a couple of other people, and I'm sure they've been tagged before, but I'm going to tag Books and Smiles, though I think she's done it, and Books and Jams. I see you guys. Tag. And guess what? You're all tagged if you want to do it too. So I love this tag. Anyway, let me know if you post it down below. Let me know your thoughts about some of the books that I've discussed. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Give me a like, won't you? And subscribe. I promise to do more than those, unboxings. I swear, solemnly. Girl Scouts honor? Go.